Hello everybody, Jim from Jim's Kitchen. The Super Bowl is coming up and snacks are the order of the day for the Super Bowl. And if you're not a Super Bowl fan, that's okay. There's lots of snack occasions that can be invented at the drop of a hat. Any excuse will do. And one of the things that I'm going to do with this video is start taking a bite-sized approach, if you will, to Jim's Kitchen. And you'll see what I did there in a minute. My original intention was to do jalapeno poppers, but it occurred to me that as small as that might seem to be, it's actually a fairly big chunk to take in one step. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it up into a couple of things. So today's video is going to be about how to prepare cheese spread / cheese fill that you, again, get to take control of as far as what are the ingredients, what's in it, and how much stuff, which is Jim's Kitchen's code word for bad stuff, how much stuff ends up in the product you are going to consume. So let's get started, shall we? The idea of cheese filling / cheese spread is it's not your standard cheese product. It's not sliced Colby or Munster or Gouda or whatever it is. It's not your average, it's not your grocery store cheese ball. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's sort of the direction we're heading in, with the caveat that you've taken control over what all goes in it. So, what do you need? Forgive me while I take a seat here. The point in a snack food is that it be appealing, appetizing, and useful in more than one simple way. Also, it's not something you have to consume right now or today even. You can stow it away if you have more made than you want to use. So, yeah, my camera is wobbling just a little bit, and it's not aimed low enough, so forgive me. This is part of the character of Jim's Kitchen. I'm not pretending to be a major Hollywood producer. All right. So, we're going to give you a basic recipe that can be embellished upon and altered at will depending on who your guests are, etc. For instance, if you have guests that require kosher or halal diets, you can leave out bacon. You get the idea. So what you need in a cheese sauce first is a base. And by a base, I mean what's the central, most bulky component of the cheese spread you're going to make. In today's example, we're going to use cream cheese, to which we're going to add some seasoning and some other things. But you could use soft cheddar, you could use any number of different products. In a cheese ball or cheese spread type product, you're looking for a softer cheese, though. Not everybody believes they like Philadelphia cream cheese, but I'm going to use it in today's example. What I'm going to make is going to become the stuffing and the jalapeno poppers that I mentioned a moment ago. But like I said, we're taking this in bite-sized chunks, so look for an episode coming soon, how to make jalapeno poppers. What you need to make cheese spread / cheese filling. You need a bowl to combine your ingredients in. If you're going to start with a block of cheese for either your base component or something that you're going to add to it later, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can add pre-shredded cheese from the grocery store, or you can use a block of cheese, and then you'll need a grater, such as what I'm showing you, a box grater. But you can have a simple plate or pan, if you will, that's got a grater function built into it. There's any number of things. This is far and away the most common, is available at your average garage sale for 25 cents, assuming they have one. Or you can go to the grocery store and get a new one, complete with the rubber thing. The handle is in place, I'm sorry, the rubber base. The handle is in place and all the edges are sharp and not beat up for less than $5. You're going to need a way to mix it up. And I am a big fan of the potato smasher. The same weapon you would use for mashed potatoes. It does a really great job, as you will see in a moment in the demonstration. But if you don't happen to have one, a wooden spoon is a really great way to go. And I'll show you the technique for how to use a wooden spoon in case you don't have a potato smasher. Now, if you have a potato smasher, I'm still going to recommend the wooden spoon, because the potato smasher will accumulate your cheese mix stuck to it, and you want a way to remove it so that you can continue mixing. Now, you want to make your cheese spread taste interesting. And if you think you just heard me say you're going to want to add some seasoning to it, very good. You're an excellent listener. I found that for jalapeno poppers or any other spicy food you're trying to make, that you don't really want to go with spicy seasonings to add to it necessarily, chili being a noteworthy exception. So for jalapeno poppers, for instance, and I'm not advertising a brand here, I'm simply showing you for an example, but these dry powder salad dressing mixes, in this case for Zesty Italian by Good Seasonings, are pre-mixed. And yeah, you did hear that correctly. I did just say pre-mixed, which means you're going to get some stuff in it. There's probably going to be more salt than you would like to add. But consider you're going with a couple of pounds of Philly cheese and a pound of shredded cheese. Yes, I'm starting to get into what goes in it now. But you've got 3 pounds, so the small amount of salt that's going to be mixed into the 2 packets of Italian Zesty seasoning that I'm going to suggest you use is not that much. Now, if you want to go for control of your ingredients and make sure you don't put in any salt, one idea is Mrs. Dash Italian seasoning mix. Mrs. Dash has a line of seasoning mixes that don't include salt. I know we all love salt. For years you couldn't get me to order anything that didn't have salt. But salt, taking out the salt doesn't change the flavor all that much. It doesn't hurt you. If you find you've ended up with a recipe product that you don't like because it's just distinctly missing salt, you can add salt to taste this way. You don't have to accept what the major manufacturer put in. You can cut back on the salt. Why would you want to cut back on salt? What's the big deal? Excuse me for a moment while I stand up and show you for all of those who haven't watched my channel before. If you see this, yes, round is a shape. It's not a good one. I got this way by accepting what major manufacturers put in my food. So if you hear me bashing salt all the time, I have a reason for it. It may not apply to you. One of the beautiful things about Jim's Kitchen is I am making recipes to show you that it's easy to take control of your own diet. You can put salt in it if you like. I'm not going to impeach you over it. One thing I do want, though, is if you find if you've experimented with one of my recipes and you have something that you tried, some sort of a change that worked for you, please put it in the comments. We'd all like to learn from it. If you have any questions about why I'm doing something, please put that in the comments. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you are so advanced in the kitchen that you find what I'm doing here elementary, wonderful. Please don't bash anybody here. We're trying to get where you are, and if you have something to contribute, please do so. We'd love to have it. We're trying to help America, or anybody else. If you're not American, I'm not going to discriminate against you, but we're trying to help people take control of their health by taking control of their diet. Okay, I'm going to put the microphone down now and get started. I've already shown you the tools you need, and I've shown you the ingredients. Let's get started. Basic cheese spread. A pound, which is a couple of boxes of this. I go with the 1/3 less fat. I am not on a no-fat kick. I understand a certain amount of fats are good for you. I am not going into a science lesson here or a nutritionist lesson here on which fats. 1/3 less fat in this case makes for a softer cheese base. It's easier to work with. It doesn't hurt the taste, surprisingly. You couldn't have convinced me of that 5 years ago. I probably wouldn't have listened to the argument. But it's that very hard-headedness which has led me to be in the shape I'm in. And if you're with me and ready to join me in taking back control of your health, trust me, 1/3 less fat isn't going to hurt the flavor. If you want to go with the full high-octane version of the cheese base, go ahead. I did that for a long time. It tastes good. It's harder to work with. And I don't know that the benefit in taste is there. I would rather have the easier product to work with. When you get to loading it in the jalapeno poppers and put it in the oven, won't a softer product melt and come out of the jalapeno poppers and mess up your oven? No, not in my experience. I've been using the 1/3 less fat, and I've not had any problem with it. So, 2 boxes. Now let me show you how I open these. Unfold the end, unfold the 2 tails, so I'll turn it over and do it to the other end so you can see it. You just fold it up, unfold the 2 tails. Now there's a seam that runs lengthways along the container. Pull that out. You're going to hold that side seam in one hand. You're going to grab the other side in the middle and pull them apart just like it was a potato chip sack. And then just squeeze it out like it was toothpaste. I've already emptied one this way, but you just squeeze from the top and squeeze down, and you can get all of the contents. If you tear it open like you would have to do with the higher density, with the higher fat full octane version, you would have to tear that side open just to get it out. So that's another benefit in using the reduced fat version. I'm not trying to sell you reduced fat. I'm trying to help you make this easy, work smarter, not harder. So strip out all of the cheese. Get it all in the bowl. Then, like I said, I buy these by the box. There's 4 envelopes. Take 2 envelopes of this. Dump them in. Two cups of this. Yes, I have a brand new bag you're watching me open. I'm going to use a measuring cup. Sorry about wandering off the camera there. Now, I'm going to do this over my mix because if I spill any of this cheese, I won't waste it. So you pour yourself out a couple of cups of shredded cheese. If you're using the box grater and a block of cheese, you can either grate all of the same kind of cheese or you can mix different kinds of cheese. It's a great deal of flexibility. And that gives you your ingredients. Now I'm going to take just a moment to reset up. Well, actually I don't need to. I've got everything set right here. We're in good shape. So we're going to continue on. If you're going to use just the wooden spoon, take control of the bowl and start with the edge of the bowl and move in. Turn the bowl a little bit and do this repeatedly and constantly, and you will, over time, blend everything in. And this is a reliable process. It's a good process. It's just going to take some time, which is why I prefer the potato smasher. Now, with the potato smasher, you just go straight down into the mix. Straight down, straight down, straight down. And when you clog up your potato smasher, as I have just done, you rake it out of the potato smasher with your wooden spoon. And you go right back to work. And if you can see this, if you can tell, we already have things pretty much mixed up. It's very fast with a potato smasher. And if you remember from a moment ago the process that I was making with the wooden spoon, this is a whole lot faster. We're done. And you now have cheese spreads / cheese mix / cheese filling for your jalapeno poppers. The number of things you can use this for are endless. If you wanted to mix bacon into your cheese mix, or you can use sausage, or you can use anything else that strikes your fancy. I imagine it would be possible to use seafood, or who knows. The imagination staggers at the number of possibilities. But I would make, if I were doing bacon or something like that, I would make it crispy. I would run my pan hot and cook the bacon so that it got done quickly without cooking out all of the fat, because that's one of the wonderful things about bacon is the flavor is in the fat. So I would cook it at a high temperature so that I didn't reduce all of the fat out of it. I would crumble it, because again, you're doing it at a high temperature. It's going to get very crispy very quick. And I would crumble it and mix it right in. But that's it, folks. You have the basic process for whether you base it on Mrs. Dash or salad dressing mix or whatever. You have the basic process for cheese mix, cheese filling, cheese spread. You can put this, you can serve this with crackers. You can put this in jalapenos. It's a wonderful thing, and like I said, the flexibility, the number of variations are endless. You know, we just got through making cheese sauce, but there's one thing that I want to start doing. I want to encourage you, please, to like and subscribe. I need to get subscribers. The more subscribers I get, the more tools YouTube gives me, and the more control I get over my channel. So please like and subscribe. I'm not going to put you on an email list and start sending you a bunch of stuff. I believe it's possible to unfollow after you subscribe if you don't want to receive an email every time I send you a recipe. But every time I post a recipe, I mean. But these are going to be very helpful recipes. The objective here, that's my wife you see approaching in the background. Hi, Jackie. She's waving. The objective here is to help people who are leery of or are afraid of the kitchen to basically do what I described earlier. Take control of what goes into your body. You can subscribe with a Google account. You can subscribe with anything. Please like, please subscribe. It'll help in the long run. Thank you.